I'm Murphy, and I learned at 14 that some people will let you break before they admit they were wrong. I was lying on the garage floor, couldn't move my left leg, couldn't catch my breath. The toolbox had fallen from the top shelf when I'd reached for Dad's drill, hit my thigh, then my head on the concrete when I went down. Hard. "Dad," I whispered. "Dad, I can't—" "Walk it off. Stop being a baby." He didn't even look up from his workbench. "You're not hurt." My brother Cameron stood in the doorway, hands in his pockets. 16 years old, 6 feet tall, silent. "Cam, please." He looked at Dad, then back at me. "She's fine, right, Dad?" "She's always dramatic. Get up, Murphy. You're embarrassing yourself." I tried to stand. My leg buckled. The room tilted. Something warm trickled down the side of my face. "Dad, something's really wrong. I think I'm bleeding." "Nothing's wrong. You want attention because your mother's at your aunt's wedding and you're stuck here with us. Classic Murphy." Cameron shifted his weight. "Maybe we should—" "Should what? Rush to the ER because she bumped herself? You want to spend 6 hours waiting just to hear she's fine?" "I hit my head," I said. My voice sounded far away. "I can't feel my fingers right." "You've got a hard head. You'll survive. Now get up or stay there. I don't care which." He went back to sanding something. The scraping sound made my skull throb. Cameron watched me for another moment, then walked away. I lay there for 40 minutes before I could crawl to my room. Left a small blood smear on the garage floor that Dad cleaned up later without mentioning it. That was Saturday. By Monday, I was vomiting every morning. Dizzy when I stood up. Couldn't focus in school. Words on the page blurred and rearranged themselves. "You're faking sick to avoid that math test," Dad said at breakfast. "I'm not faking. I need to see a doctor." "You need to toughen up. Your generation falls apart over everything." Tuesday, my English teacher, Mrs. Alvarez, stopped me after class. "Murphy, you left half this essay blank. That's not like you." I couldn't remember the words. They kept disappearing. She leaned closer. "Are you okay? You look pale. Actually pale, not tired." "I hit my head Saturday. My dad said I'm fine." "Hit your head? How?" "Toolbox fell on me. Then I hit the concrete." Her expression changed completely. "Did you lose consciousness?" "I don't know. Maybe? Everything went fuzzy." "That's a concussion, Murphy. Possibly worse. You need medical attention immediately." "My dad said—" "I don't care what your dad said. You're exhibiting serious symptoms. I'm calling the nurse right now." Nurse Patterson examined me for 10 minutes. "Sensitivity to light, nausea, memory issues, balance problems. How long since the injury?" 3 days. 3 days? She picked up her phone. "I'm calling your father right now." I heard his voice through the speaker, annoyed, dismissive. "Mr. Brennan, Murphy has symptoms consistent with traumatic brain injury. She needs immediate evaluation." "She's milking a little bump for sympathy." She described losing consciousness and has progressive neurological symptoms. "If you don't take her to the ER, I'm obligated to call Child Protective Services." Silence. Then, "That's completely unnecessary and frankly insulting." "Is it? Because ignoring a head injury in a minor is medical neglect. It's literally the definition." "Fine, I'll take her after work." "You'll take her now, or I make the call. Your choice." He picked me up an hour later. Didn't speak to me in the car. His jaw was tight, furious, like I'd done something to him. The ER doctor was young, thorough. Dr. Reeves. She asked me to follow her finger with my eyes, stand on one foot, remember 3 words. I failed every test. "We need a CT scan," she told Dad. "Is that really necessary? How much does that cost?" "Your daughter has a significant concussion, possibly worse. The delay in treatment is concerning." "She said she was fine." "She's 14. She wouldn't know the difference between fine and neurologically compromised. That's why parents are supposed to err on the side of caution. The scan took 30 minutes. I lay perfectly still in the machine, listening to it click and whir. Dr. Reeves came back with another doctor. Older woman, serious face. Dr. Hammond. Murphy, your scan shows a subdural hematoma. That's bleeding between your brain and skull. It's small, but it's there. The room went cold. Dad straightened up. But she's okay now, though? She has post-concussion syndrome. The 3-day delay means the initial injury worsened significantly. She should have been here Saturday. I didn't think... That's evident. Murphy, you'll need weeks of cognitive rest. No screens, no reading, no physical activity. You might have permanent effects. Permanent? My voice cracked. Like forever? We won't know for months. Some patients recover fully. Others have lasting issues with memory, concentration, mood regulation. Dad stood up. So what do we do now? You monitor her closely. She comes back immediately if symptoms worsen. She sees a neurologist. And honestly, Mr. Brennan, if she'd been brought in Saturday, we could have prevented this from escalating. I made a judgment call. You made the wrong one, and your daughter will live with the consequences. He didn't respond. Mom called that night from Aunt Tricia's. I heard Dad's version first through my bedroom wall. There was an accident. She's fine now. Bit dramatic about the whole thing, but you know Murphy. Let me talk to her. He handed me the phone. Murphy, what happened? I told her everything. The fall, Dad's refusal, lying on the garage floor, Mrs. Alvarez, the scan results, the bleeding. He didn't take you to the hospital for 3 days? He said I was faking. Give him back the phone, right now. I did. Then I heard her voice through the speaker, sharp and cold, and nothing like my mom usually sounded. I'm coming home tomorrow morning. We're going to have a very long conversation, Daniel. She's exaggerating. The ER doctor said permanent damage. That's not exaggeration. That's a medical diagnosis. It was an accident. The accident was Saturday. The neglect was Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. She hung up. Cameron appeared in my doorway that night. How bad is it? Could be permanent. Dad feels terrible. Does he? He didn't know it was serious. I told him. I said something was wrong. I couldn't stand up, Cam. You saw me. He thought you were overreacting. And you? What did you think when you saw me on that floor? He looked away. I don't know. Yes, you do. Dad's usually right about stuff. I was lying there crying and you walked away. I'm sorry. That doesn't fix anything. He left. Mom came home Wednesday morning. I heard them in the kitchen, voices rising. She could have brain damage, Daniel. Permanent brain damage. I know. I made a mistake. A mistake is forgetting milk. This is negligence. What do you want me to say? I'm sorry. Sorry to who? Me or Murphy? Both. Have you apologized to her? Silence. Of course not, because that would mean admitting you were cruel to a child with a head injury. Dad tried to apologize Thursday morning before school. Murphy, about Saturday. No. I need to explain. You called me dramatic while I had bleeding in my brain. There's nothing to explain. I didn't realize. I told you something was wrong, multiple times. You didn't care. That's not fair. Fair? You let me lie on concrete for 40 minutes. Mrs. Alvarez, a teacher who sees me 3 times a week, recognized something was wrong in 5 minutes. But you, my father, called me a baby.
I was wrong. I'm trying to apologize. I don't accept it. Murphy, we're done talking. I walked away. He didn't follow. The neurologist appointment was Friday. Dr. Chen was patient, kind. She tested my memory, reaction time, emotional regulation, made me solve puzzles, repeat sequences, describe pictures after she took them away. The good news is the bleeding has stabilized. The challenging news is you're showing signs of long-term post-concussion syndrome. What does that mean? Mom asked. Memory issues, difficulty concentrating, mood swings, sensitivity to light and sound. It could improve in months, could take years, might be permanent. Because we waited 3 days? Mom's voice was steel. The delay significantly worsened the outcome. Immediate treatment would have reduced these risks considerably. Mom looked at Dad. He stared at the floor. So her future is compromised because my husband decided a 14-year-old was lying about her symptoms? I wouldn't phrase it that way. I would. Murphy, do you have questions for Dr. Chen? Will I be able to go to college? Yes, you'll just need accommodations, extra time on tests, note takers, quiet testing environments. Because of the 3-day delay. Dr. Chen glanced at Dad. The delay was a significant factor, yes. 6 months later, I still got headaches when I read too long. Still forgot words mid-sentence sometimes. Dr. Chen said it might be permanent. Mom and Dad's marriage didn't survive it. She filed in November. I can't trust you with our children's safety, she told him during mediation. I was allowed to sit in because I was part of the custody discussion. That's extreme, Rachel. Is it? When Murphy needed you most, you called her a baby and went back to your woodworking. When Cameron needed moral guidance, you taught him that protecting your pride matters more than protecting your sister. I've apologized. Murphy rejected your apology. She has that right. You don't get to hurt someone and then demand forgiveness.
The mediator, Ms. Valdez, looked at her notes. Murphy, you're 15 now. The court considers your preference. Where do you want to live? With Mom, full-time. Dad flinched. You don't want to see me at all? No. Murphy, please. You had 40 minutes to check on me. You had 3 days to take me to a doctor. You had 6 months to show me you understood what you did. Instead, you keep defending yourself. I made a terrible mistake. You made a choice. Multiple choices. You chose your ego over my health every single time. Ms. Valdez wrote something down. And Cameron? He can do what he wants, but he stood there and watched me suffer because Dad told him to. That's on him, too. Cameron lived with Dad. We went to the same school, barely spoke. He'd try sometimes in the hallways. Murphy, we're still family. Family doesn't watch family bleed out on garage floors. I was scared to go against Dad. I was scared too. I was also injured. You chose comfort. I'll remember that. He stopped trying after a while. Dad's reputation crumbled quietly. Mom didn't trash him publicly, but the truth spread anyway. Small town, school nurses talk, doctors talk, teachers talk. Parents talk at soccer games and PTA meetings. People at his work found out. His supervisor, Mr. Hartley, had a daughter my age. He treated Dad differently after that. Colder. Professional only. Dad's promotion got delayed indefinitely. Dad's girlfriend left him in March. I can't date someone who ignored his child's brain injury, she told mutual friends. What if we had kids? What if they got hurt? He showed up at Mom's house in April, unannounced. I answered the door. I need to talk to you. No. Murphy, I've lost everything. My marriage, my daughter, people's respect. I'm trying to make this right. You lost those things because you earned losing them. I know. I'm asking for a chance. You had chances. Saturday when I was on the floor. Sunday when I was vomiting. Monday when I couldn't think straight. Tuesday when I begged you. You used every chance to make it worse. I can't change the past. Then live with what you created. You're my daughter. Biologically, that's it. Murphy. Mom appeared behind me. Daniel, she's made her position clear. Respect it or I'll get a restraining order. She's 15. She doesn't understand. She understands perfectly. She has permanent neurological damage because you valued being right over her safety. Leave. He left. Came back twice more over the next year. Mom threatened legal action. He stopped. I graduated high school with honors despite the memory issues. Got into a good college with accommodations for my disability. Dr. Chen warned me the symptoms might never fully resolve. Some injuries leave permanent marks, she said at my final appointment. Physical ones and relational ones. Dad tried reaching out when I turned 18. Long email, full of remorse, regret, therapy updates. I deleted it without responding. Cameron called last year. He's not doing well, Murphy. He's alone. He's sorry. Good. That's cold. He had 40 minutes while I lay bleeding to not be alone now. He chose himself. You're never going to forgive him? Why should I? Because he's our father. He was. Then he decided being right mattered more than my brain function. Actions have consequences, Cam. He taught me that better than anyone. He's getting older. What if something happens to him? Then he'll have plenty of time alone to think about why that is. You sound bitter. I sound realistic. I still have headaches, Cam. Still lose words in the middle of meetings sometimes. Still have to use accommodations at work. That's permanent. His loneliness is just consequences. I still have headaches. Still lose words sometimes. Still carry the medical records that say, delayed treatment, worsened prognosis. Still check the boxes for disability accommodations on job applications. Dad reached out again last month through an aunt. He's asking if you'll at least talk to him. He's been in therapy. He understands what he did. I didn't respond to her either. Here's what I want to know. If someone's apology can't undo the damage they caused, and your healing doesn't require accepting it, why does everyone act like you owe them forgiveness just because they finally feel bad about what they did?